Hi, welcome to Wayne's World of Wrestling. I'm Wayne Gillen, your host as usual. It's available on YouTube, my YouTube channel, Wayne's World of Wrestling, and it's going to be called RIP Retired in Peace. And as you can tell, it's going to be about Mark Calloway's Last Ride documentary. If you like it, give it a thumbs up on YouTube. Subscribe to my channel if you like. Comment, good or bad. I appreciate either. And I actually really appreciate getting over 100 views for my last review of the first two episodes of The Last Ride, which I loved. Really enjoyed it, and this episode of the podcast is called Retired in Peace because at the very end of the documentary, the Last Ride documentary, the Undertaker has come out, and fair enough, he's not come out and officially said he's retired, but he didn't say the words he's retired, but he said he's happy to walk away. He's no desire to get back in the ring. The AJ Styles match was a fitting end to his career, and he's finally got the clarity that he's been looking for over the past few years, which at the end of the one of the great things that I loved, and it's why I'm calling it Retired in Peace, is him, Michelle McCool and his daughter were sitting on the steps of a kind of lakeside or a riverside shed kind of thing, and Michelle McCool was in between his legs, and the daughter was in between Michelle McCool's legs, and the sun was shining on them, and he just looked like he was retired in peace. And that's why I'm calling it RIP, Retired in Peace. Anyway, onto the start of the third episode. It starts off with Undertaker and Cena's match. The end of that, he goes on about not being happy with ending his career there because it ended up only being a 3-minute match, which was disappointing for him. He said he would have went out to Cena if he could have had a more of an epic match, which definitely could have happened because Cena knows how to sell, and he's had some epic matches in the past. Of both of them have, let's be honest. So I loved the bit where his wee lassie was outside the backstage, and she's like, "I can't believe you won, Daddy." And Michelle McCool was like, "Aye, she was giving you a thumbs up and a thumbs down for beating Cena because she's a Cena fan," which I found very funny. And Undertaker was kind of like, "Oh, no way," kind of thing. And he's like, "She's probably the worst Undertaker fan ever because she sleeps during his wins and is awake for the defeats." But he was happy that she could still see that he can still show his daughter that he can still actually win a match. So, like I said, and it would have been good for him to go with Cena in a longer match, but again, he wasn't happy. So he goes on to Saudi Arabia, where he was looking forward to that the experience of Saudi. The Saudi fans appreciate him being there. As you can imagine, he's legendary, and they were happy for him to turn up. The casket match with Rusev, it is what it is. Undertaker still feeling as fit as he's ever felt. Cena match, he was fit. Rusev match, he's fit again. But I don't think he's that happy with the Rusev match either. So he goes from there and wants more again. Again, he turns up at Madison Square Garden for a 3-on-3 match. Him, Strowman and Reigns take on Corbin, Elias, and Owens, and he loved the match. He enjoyed it, and what I loved about this as well, and so did the Undertaker, he has the Vince McMahon turns the arena purple outside in tribute to the Undertaker, because it could be the last time he's at Madison Square Garden. Undertaker does talk about if it is his last time there. He was happy with the match, even though he speaks about if it is his last match, he's going to miss it. Obviously, the Madison Square Crowd Garden makes or breaks people. They'll tell you if they aren't happy with the way you've wrestled. So the Undertaker thanks the performers that were in the ring with him for a good match. But before he leaves, he actually looks around the crowd and he looks in people's eyes, which he doesn't usually do, because it means a lot to him to be there. And he said before, when he goes out in Madison Square Garden, he looks at pictures before he goes out. Like Elvis is there, Muhammad Ali, and that meant a lot to him before he went out in Madison Square Garden quite a few times before, because they were two his idols growing up. So if it was his last match, you could see it in his eyes that when he says it, this could be my last one. And when he's backstage, he has a bit of some tears, a wee bit of tear in his eye, which isn't it's sad to see it, but as Stone Cold says in one of the episodes, I think it's either the third or the fourth episode, Father Time catches up with everybody, and it is catching up on the Undertaker. So if it is his time coming, which it will be, well, it is, as we know at the end of this amazing documentary series, he has called it a day now, and he isn't getting any younger, and he does say it over time that he is slower, his reaction times aren't as good, and as a fan, and he's the greatest of all time for me. I know he isn't. He's not as good as he once was, and I definitely wanted him to have the fairy tale ending, and he obviously does believe that the AJ Styles match was the fairy tale ending for him. But before we go into that, the next thing that comes on the documentary for me that I remember was the Vince McMahon comes on, and he's obviously talking about the last match with Triple H. It's announced for Super Showdown down in Australia. Build up was good. I wasn't the biggest fan of this match, but it was obviously the end of the era kind of thing, because they'd already had a good few matches in their past, and it shows you in the documentary Triple H WrestleMania 17, which out of the WrestleMania trilogy they had, it was probably my least favourite match with Triple H and Undertaker. My favourite match being 28, Hell in a Cell, then 27, and then 17. 17 was still good, as they went all around the crowd, stuff like that, and there was some good spots, and the storytelling was still great. But I still think there was a lot more storyline between the 4 matches with him, Shawn, and then the 2 matches with Shawn, and the 2 matches with Triple H. The full 4 matches all combined told so much of a story, and the Undertaker does say that they were his favourite 4 matches of his career. So it shows you the 17 a bit, and then it goes from the WrestleMania 17, and then he talks about his relationship with Shawn Michaels, and the chemistry he had with Shawn Michaels in the ring was second to none. But leading up to and when Shawn Michaels is kind of off the rails and a bit of a dick, Shawn Michaels has admitted it himself. When he liked to party and wasn't really respectful to other people, other performers, Undertaker couldn't stand him. He didn't have the best relationship with him then. But in the ring, he preferred to work with no one else. Compared to other people, he was the one that he would always love to work with. But by the time WrestleMania 25 and 26 matches came along, Shawn had found religion, believes in Jesus and stuff, and him and Undertaker were a lot closer as friends. And a match at WrestleMania 25, I'm not really going to get into it because I've spoke about it a couple of podcasts before. It's arguably for me the best match in WWF history. The WrestleMania 26 match was a bit more emotional in the sense that the end of Shawn Michaels' career, until obviously came back for that one match that I'm going to talk about a wee bit later. It's obviously still in this episode 3 as well, but as in his real full career, that was his last match. And the 26 match, it wasn't as epic in the ring as a wrestling match compared to 25, but because it was the end of Shawn Michaels' storied career, it was still such a good dramatic match, and by the time he finished, it was so emotional at the end. Pardon me. And Undertaker at the end cuddling him, and then backstage, Undertaker also says on his on the Last Ride documentary that he was envious of Shawn having clarity and being able to walk away without any regrets and doubts about leaving the wrestling industry, and Undertaker still struggling at that point. In the documentary, talking about he can't leave because he's not having the match of matches that he wants to have, that he believes he needs to have because of how big his character is, how storied his career is. He needs the fairy tale ending match to be happy to leave. He doesn't want the Cena ending. He doesn't want the Roman Reigns ending. He needs an epic finish, and as the last few years proved for me as a fan, and obviously Undertaker as a performer, you wonder if he was ever going to get it because of how his reaction times are slower. He has to train harder all the time to get even near the level as he used to be. So after Shawn leaves WWE, Triple H steps up for WrestleMania 27 to try and make amends for Shawn's career being ended by The Undertaker, and Triple H steps up, and right violent match, so physical, back and forth match, Undertaker and Triple H, epic, hardcore match. Undertaker still gets the business done and keeps the streak intact. Really enjoyed that match as well. Physically, both guys were done in by the end of it. WrestleMania 28 was the full circle of the story. Hell in a Cell was the match that they put on. Shawn Michaels comes back as a special ref, and it's in Hell in a Cell because that's where Shawn Michaels and Undertaker had the original that's the original Hell in a Cell was Shawn Michaels and the Undertaker, and that's where Kane made his debut as the Undertaker's brother as well. So they had a hell of a story. One of the best feuds and best stories in wrestling as well. So Shawn Michaels was a special ref, and everybody in the stadium, everybody at home watching, was still like, Undertaker's gonna. Shawn Michaels is gonna screw the Undertaker, and he did. Super kicks him straight over into the pedigree position. Triple H pedigrees him at that moment. Everybody holds their breath, thinking it's going to be a 1, 2, 3, and Triple H has got to end the streak. Undertaker still kicks out and manages to go on and still keep the streak and wins the match. So Undertaker and Shawn Michaels and Triple H walk up the rampway. Shawn and Undertaker both kind of helping Triple H, who's in the middle of them, and they walk up to the rampway, and then they turn around at the top of the staging area, at the top of the ramp, and turn around, and that's the picture that Undertaker loves the most of his career, with the three of them just looking right across WrestleMania into the crowd. And he says he's got that in the top of his gym, and it means the world to him that he's got that over the door of his gym. So Triple H says it's one of his best moments of his career as well. So I think that'll be the picture that it's either got to be that picture I put on for this podcast on YouTube, or it might be the Undertaker on his motorbike since he has officially retired. I'll decide while I'm talking away. So that was the end of that, and then the goes to the Triple H match on Melbourne Super Showdown, and it wasn't the best for me. I didn't really like it. So Triple H is Shawn Michaels in the corner, and Kane's in Undertaker's corner. So they both have it's a good match. It is a good match, but compared to their doubleheader at WrestleMania, it's not as good. But it's obviously years later. Triple H is part-time, Undertaker's part-time. So it is what it is. Triple H gets the win. End of the era. It's done. And then Kane and Undertaker attack Shawn and Triple H at the very end of the show, and set up tag match. Build-up's half decent, and then the tag match in Saudi Arabia is, well, Triple H describes it, the build-up, it was like, what could go wrong? Obviously, 4 legends in wrestling. Should be, on paper, it should be amazing, but Undertaker is a part-timer, Triple H is sporadic performer, Shawn Michaels hasn't wrestled in years, and Kane's the mayor. That's pretty much what he says in the documentary. And then the match starts. Triple H torn pectoral muscle early on. I think it's like 5 minutes into the match. Kane's mask falls off when Shawn's punching her in the face. and then Shawn and Undertaker's timings out as well stuff. So they all of them called it a train wreck, and I think Triple H called it like a bad comedy movie for wrestling. So all in it wasn't good. So back to the drawing board for Undertaker. He doesn't want to go out like that. But it's no a match. If it was the match it should have been, if the four of them were on top of their game, Undertaker could have bowed out with him. But again, it wasn't. So he's back to square one. Still not having the fairy tale ending that he wanted. But before the match, the build up to the match, there was a behind the scenes thing that I forgot to mention. Kane and Undertaker, they never put it on TV, I don't think, but Kane's like, yous have got 2 words for us, suck it, and then Undertaker's like, we've got 3 words for you, go fuck yourself. So, and it was kind of like a funny moment, so I enjoyed that in the documentary they showed you. So it was what it was. So the 4th episode starts with obviously them talking about the train wreck of the tag match, and Undertaker saying he would have liked it to be that was the end in his career, but because it was so bad, he wanted to sort stuff out. But what I liked about episode 4, it also starts off with Undertaker, like Bruce Pritchard talking about how invested he was in his character. It shows you Paul Bearer talking back in 2012 that they worked so closely together that they done everything together. They were everywhere together, which I enjoyed about that as well. And Bray Wyatt, out of character Undertaker, talks about his about how Undertaker's character's always number 10, always the maximum performer he can be, and nobody else is like that in the industry. And I enjoyed just seeing Undertaker doing some of the stuff, and then you see some of the behind the scenes. He's like he's in a graveyard and he's digging up the dirt, and then I think it's Paul Bearer he hits with some of the dirt, and he's like, "Oh, sorry, did I catch you there?" And it was just dead funny to watch that. And then he's in a grave and he's got a like a skull, and he's kidding on it's a puppet, and just laughing, and obviously watching stuff like that, and you just wouldn't envisage that, because you wouldn't see that when I was a 11, 12-year-old boy when I first watched him coming out at Survivor Series, making his debut, and when he won his first title with Hulk Hogan and stuff like that. You just couldn't see that, how good a character he was, and it's just seeing stuff like that. I've just enjoyed this documentary for that side of him, like seeing the real guy, some kind of goofing around, and then you see him being a blacksmith, and building coffins for Kamala and things like that. So I've enjoyed that side of it again as well, and how much a perfectionist he was. Like, he would do a take, like try to be like dark in the funeral homes and stuff, and then he would be like, no, do a retake and do it again. And I've just been enjoying stuff like that. And then we get on to the row with Vince McMahon as well was on it, with EW was doing their show in Vegas, and Starcast was on the same time. And Vince obviously contacted him, and he was like, well, what you doing there? There's like rumours that you're gonna be with AEW, like do their show with them. And Undertaker was obviously like, that's not going to happen. He's like, I'm only down there to do some, like, meet some of the fans for my signing and whatever. And Vince was obviously meant to be quite angry with him, and Undertaker was obviously like, well, I'm just taking care of myself as well. Obviously, it's why I meet some fans and make some money or whatever. And Vince, apparently they kind of stopped talking for a wee while. But Undertaker did cancel his Starcast slot, and then him and Vince did make up, and things were back to normal. But there's some people believe that's why he wasn't on the WrestleMania 35 card. But again, I don't know how much truth is in that or not. It could make sense because Vince can be a bit bitchy, if you like, but who knows. If that is the case, that is what it is. And Undertaker, like I said, when I was watching episode 4, he says he wasn't that bothered, and it's kind of like it was a new experience for him not to be on WrestleMania, because he hadn't missed a show for years. So then he's like, right, I'll do what I'm gonna do, and that was what he said. He was like, he was happy just to leave it for that sort of thing. And then him and Michelle McCool kind of just went around and had a look around with his wee girl, and they seen all the stuff, which was cool for a bit. They seen all the kind of memorabilia, the two of them, and they said it meant a lot to them. And then they met the wrestlers backstage. But when WrestleMania started and he was in a gorilla position, that's when it kind of affected him a bit. And it was a funny moment with Vince when he said to when obviously Vince was like, oh, where's your wrestling gear and stuff, and it's like, if you're a true pro, your wrestling gear should be right there, because he wanted him on Raw. And then Undertaker snapped back with a quick comment with, well, if you booked me in a true pro would book me in the first place, which I thought was quite funny as well. And Vince McMahon kind of just laughed, but he obviously he couldn't really say anything to that. So I thought that was quite funny. And probably Undertaker was probably the only person in WWE that could get away with that, which was funny. So WrestleMania came and went, and Undertaker wasn't on the card, but he came out in Raw, got a big pop, and choke slammed Elias or tombstoned him or whatever it was. And then done the business. Came out and done the tag match was after. No, sorry. Then he had the Goldberg match, which on paper everybody's looking forward to. It didn't quite work out what people were looking for, but it was what it was. And Undertaker definitely wasn't happy with it. Goldberg wasn't happy with it. He meant to get concussion or something. And he didn't really talk about it too much on the podcast kind of thing. No, on the podcast, sorry. On the documentary, he never really spoke about it. So, and he said, like, obviously Goldberg, Jarby's back with the crazy jackhammer, and he wasn't too happy about that either. But Undertaker did kind of give him a dodgy tombstone as well, which he doesn't talk about in the last ride documentary. So, but Goldberg has been unsafe for ages. Like obviously what he done to Hitman and whatever else. So, but he comes back. He obviously doesn't know whether he's coming back. He doesn't. Obviously, it's in his head that he was so close to being so badly injured or even death. But he comes back and he has the amazing tag match with Reigns, and they take on McIntyre and Shane McMahon, and it's such a good match. And he goes backstage and he tells Vince, "Look, that could be me." And Vince like, "Well, I'll do what you want to do," and he seems to be happy with what he's done there. And Vince is like, "Well, I'll take your lead and whatever else," but I don't know. It's as if Vince isn't fully accepting that that's him done. And obviously Undertaker's like, "Well, I'm telling you now that I think that's me. I'm happy with what I've done, but my body isn't quite there." And Vince is like, "Right, we'll see. We'll leave it there." And that was how it. The Undertaker seemed to be like happy to leave it like that, because it was he looked great in that match, probably the best he looked in years in that tag match. But we all know that he comes back for the Boneyard match with AJ Styles. So, but the two matches, the two episodes leading up to the final episode I've just spoke about, I just loved them. I've loved the full season, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put this on, and I'm actually gonna start. I'm gonna do a full episode about the last episode. I'm going to do a full podcast on the last episode because there's a lot in it. So I'm going to turn this one off, and I'm going to do a full recording of the next episode, the final episode, since it's his last match. So it will just be called. I know that I've called this one Retired in Peace, but the next one's just got to be called Retired in Peace too. So thanks for listening, and I hope you've enjoyed it. Stay safe. God bless you all, and again, just thanks for listening, and thanks for all your support. Cheers. Bye.